Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, the next verse, which is a very famous verse of Kathopanishad, in Surya was just explaining to you what is his Dakshinamurti. Every evening and morning we have Aarti, we have Puja. Puja is a prayer, and then we have Aarti. And during this Aarti, we chant this verse, right? So this verse goes, Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, Neema vidyuto bhanti, kuto ayam agnihi, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. Beautiful. Okay? It says that is, okay, the sun does not illumine that, the moon and the stars do not illumine, these flashes of lightning do not illumine. How can this fire that I am using illumine this reality? Everything shines after that self alone, which is self-effulgent. By its light, all this universe shines. Okay? So if you want to see Atma or Brahman, can you, is it something which you can objectify with your eyes? No. Because if something is something that you can, in order for you to see an object, not only you need your eyes, what do you need? You need light. Right? And what provides the light? The sun. Right? So therefore, in order for you to see anything, you need what? Either the light of the sun or light of the moon.
Which is this light of the sun.
Which is also light of the sun. Exactly. Okay. So therefore, you need help of so many things. So he says that with help, the eyes cannot reach Brahman. If eyes were to reach Brahman, it's very easy. I'll show you an object called Brahman and your eyes will see it. Then he says, if the sun has no access to it, if the moon has no access to it, then what about this little light? They do this Aarti, and they said, well, you think this Aarti can make you see the nature of Ishvara and make you see the nature of a little lamp? Can it make you see the nature of awareness? You are searching for awareness. Okay, let me get a lamp. Let's go look out for awareness with a lamp, help of a lamp. Impossible. If it is impossible for the eyes, which is blessed by the sun, by the moon, even the light, if it is inaccessible, how will I ever know it? I will know it because you are self-effulgent. You need, to know I am, you don't need to use your eyes. To know I am, you don't need a light of the sun. To know I am, you don't need light of the moon. You don't even need the light of a lamp. There is only one self-effulgent thing which requires no other light. It shines, it is seven in its own glory. Then, what is the relationship between that which is self-effulgent and everything else? It says, Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Everything else shines after you. That light of awareness or consciousness is self-effulgent, and the light of my eyes shines after. It depends upon that awareness for its existence. The light of the sun depends upon the existence of awareness. The light of the moon depends upon that awareness for its existence. The light of this little light also equally depends upon this awareness. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. You are the only light, everything else is what? Shines after. And where is that only light, which is the, because of which every other luminary shines? Where is that light available to you? In your own heart, as I am. In your own buddhi, as. If awareness was only there, then you have to objectify it. Awareness is available to you where? In your buddhi as self-evident I, self-effulgent. Okay? And that, what is self-effulgent, the entire universe shines after it. Is the only self-illumining thing. Okay? This is the, imagine what a beautiful teaching, and it ends with this imagery. It ends with this imagery, and if you you can see it the other way also. Okay? The other way, which is like, let's say, the final standpoint of Vedanta, as Surya was saying, up to now, the whole teaching was for whom? For Jiva, right? So therefore, now Jiva had to make sense of the universe, Jiva had to make sense of one's own experiences, Jiva had to make sense of everything. So you use all these methodologies to make the Jiva see the reality, right? Now, you shift a little bit and you speak from the standpoint of the reality. If the wave has to be taught the knowledge, the wave has to be taught what?
Which is water.
Exactly. The wave has to be taught the truth of you is water, the truth of Y wave is water, the truth of X wave is water. So you have to talk about all these different things. Then you have to say, hey wave, there is also another entity called ocean, that also is water. So you talk about many things. Now you shift the standpoint and you talk from the standpoint of water. From the standpoint of water, what is there?
Water.
There's only water. There is no set, there is no wave. There is no ocean either. Right? All that is here is water. A water can say, neither what? Neither I am the wave, nor I am the ocean. Oh my God, all this teaching was what? I am you and now you're disowning me. Okay? The water has never become the wave. Understand? If water had already become wave, it would be stuck with its waveness. The water has never really become the ocean. If it had become the ocean, it would have become what? It would be stuck with the oceanness. The water is being in the form of wave, being in the form of ocean. It has never really become it. Appearing in form of this, appearing in form of that, it has never become this. If it had become this, then what? You won't find original water. Because water, if it had become ocean, it no longer remains water. It has become something else. But when you look, what do you find? Only water. So it has, without becoming, it has as though become. It appears like that. Okay? So now the water is making the statement, I'm neither the ocean, I'm nor the what? The wave. I'm not any of these currents, I'm none. What is water? H2O. Free from oceanness, from waveness. Free from everything. But without water, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. But without the water, what? The waveness depends upon water, the oceanness depends upon the water, but water is what? Neither wave nor ocean nor anything. This is the final teaching. The awareness has not become Ishvara, awareness has not become Jiva, awareness has not become Maya. Awareness is awareness. And everything has manifested because of that awareness. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. All that is here shines after what? Not shines in the sense of physical shining, right? Exists in consciousness, is sustained by consciousness, goes into consciousness. But consciousness from its own standpoint can say there is no creation in the first place. Vedanta. Right? So, if you understand what I am saying, then you have understood quite well Vedanta. So, this is the last verse. Leaving you with, you have to reconcile the two positions. When you see that clearly, that is knowledge, that requires subtlety. Because it seems contradictory, but there is no contradiction. Right? There is one light. It's not a physical light, it is self-effulgent awareness. And every other physical light that comes in form of the sun, form of the tube light, in form of any other light, depends upon that awareness for its existence. Itself has no quality, free from all attributes. Yes? So this is what is the concluding verse of this teaching. Now, let's see what happened to Nachiketa, the last verse. Now the whole teaching is over. Where is he now? What happens? So here says, Mrutyur proktam Nachiketaha atha labdva vidyam eta yoga vidhincha krusnam brahma praptaha virajaha vibhutihi mrutyoho anyaha api ayam yaha vidati atmam eva. So what happens to Nachiketa? Nachiketa acquired completely this knowledge. Being the bright person that he was, and Yama, being the great teacher that he was, got it. He got it.
Happy end.
Right? Happy end. What does it tell me? You don't need to be physically. How old was Nachiketa? young child. And according to Utah, he was an irritating child. She came and she asked me, but what is this child going and asking his father second time, third time? Isn't it irritating?
Like children, yeah.
11-year-old child.
But at the same time, very skilled in
Ex-
terms of how to deal with
Exactly.
very complex issues.
Exactly. Right? Seems like, oh my God, you're irritating me, but at the same time, as Germana says, highly subtle and varieties of issues, he's able to navigate his life very skillfully. Very skillfully. Every Upanishad has a character who's learning, and that character who's learning is always brilliant. Is never a loser. Never somebody who's like, oh, I can't do anything. Even Arjuna, it may seem as though he was in sorrow. True, he was in sorrow. But what is the character of Arjuna in Mahabharata? He was the best in archery. He was multi-what? Multi-faceted, multi-talented, very successful in what he was doing. It was never a dropout. Right? You need all these, and exactly, lots of embellishments before you even come to Brahma Vidya. Okay? Then, to get Yama to teach was another achievement. Right? You find first he went to a right teacher, then he inspired him to teach him. That is his skill again. When he was taught, what? From here, this story, what do we get? He was following, right? He was trying to understand, he was following. So that means anybody, regardless of nationality, religion, gender, can get this teaching. One doesn't have to be a Hindu, one doesn't have to wear a sari, one doesn't have to put a tika to have clarity on this knowledge. One doesn't have to be a sannyasi. The little boy doesn't have to become a sannyasi. It doesn't. Little boy gets it. Free yourself from all these imprisonment of images that you create about who is a gnani. Brilliant story, brilliant character. Who gets it? What is the qualification? Two qualifications, maturity and brilliance. Two qualifications. Everything else is just side, like pickles. They add a little taste, but they don't really make a difference. It's not food. Okay. Nachiketa got it. Then what happens? Okay, that this knowledge as well as the method of yoga which were taught by Lord Yama. He got not only what? This knowledge, but what? He understood the whole methodology which was being followed to make him understand. Now, you go out there and somebody will ask you, yeah, so where did you go? And then he said, yeah, I went to Vedanta retreat. Oh, what is Vedanta? Oh, Vedanta talks about one final reality. Who knows there is a final reality or not? It's just a belief, right? No, it's not a belief, it's a means of knowledge. What do you mean means of knowledge? then you come back and say, yeah, I understand, but I can't articulate it. Right? Nachiketa, he understood, not only he understood the methodology. He got the knowledge and he got how he was led to discover this knowledge. Got it all.
So this is the ritual we got.
Sorry?
The second bone was to get a ritual.
No, that
No,
ritual
that's
was for other people to get what they wanted.
I thought
No,
that
no.
he now can teach.
Yeah, exactly. He can now. He's equipped with methodology, so he can teach. He also is this method of yoga means what? The whole importance of self growth is not just a kind of an analytical pursuit. It's not like being in mathematics class. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Then you start algebra, you start arithmetic. It's not like that. Even though it's highly logical, right, you need that whole maturity. He also understood the importance of that maturity. That also he understood, okay, which were taught by Lord Yama. Thus, having attained Brahman, what happened to him? He became pure and immortal. Do you think he became? No, not really. He discovered Atma is always immortal, not subject to death. He did not purify his Atma with this detergent. He understood Atma is never touched by anything. Okay? Anyone else too. We are not here to glorify Nachiketa. As he said, what are you really interested in? Yourself, your knowledge. So he says, anybody else too, right, who is what? Nachiketa is an archetype, represents the person who is qualified for the knowledge. If you, through your effort, become like Nachiketa, what? Then you can gain who thus knows the self, already in the present tense. That means if you are prepared, if you ask how long it will take for me to understand this reality, people start giving advice. Yeah, you start doing this and you start doing that and you start doing this. True, everybody has to do something, but at the same time, I have come across people who've come to my class and it's amazing in such a short time the amount of clarity they get. I'm appalled because what they understand, it took me years to understand. I'm like, wow. There is grace working. Your effort and grace. And have that confidence in you. Have that confidence in you, I can do it, without arrogance. And with reference to that little doubt, ask for help. And you will be taken forward. You will be taken forward in this journey of truth till you discover the truth like Nachiketa. Thank you. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.